What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Just wanted to hop on here for a minute. We got nearly a full moon. We're not quite there yet. What's the date? The 17th? We're getting there. I believe it's the 20th will be a complete full moon. And I was sitting here and I've been thinking about a lot of things tonight, which is not uncommon. Believe it or not, I can think about things. By the way, welcome, Ben, who says, "Tickle, tickle, here comes my pickle." I'm not making that up. That's I promise you. Our fearless leader, Ben. The man himself. Ben Jaman. Tickle, tickle, here comes my pickle. I don't know, might have to press charges. This is a hostile work environment. Very sexually charged, if you know what I'm saying. And then we got 509 in here. Gordon 85. See, I knew there'd be some people out here. I don't know, I was talking to Ben about it, and maybe I'm just reading too much into it. I don't know. Like, I get a lot of feelings, I get a lot of thoughts that come along, and most of the time, I'll be honest, I ignore them, or I kind of push him aside. What a fool. What's up, fool? We got Joe in here. By the way, anybody that wants to hop in, there's a link right here. But I just had this, like, feeling, man, this energy that someone out there needs to share something. Maybe that person's me. I don't know. But I just have this feeling I can't really get rid of. And I don't know if it's related to the moon or what it is. And I know we got Lynn going to be going here in an hour. So I was like, told Ben, I was like, hey, do you mind if I just hop on for like literally 5 minutes? Not even making this like a podcast episode or anything. Just hop on, give someone a chance. Amanda, what's up, by the way? Anybody a chance if they want to talk about anything? Whether it be hopping in here with me? I'm taking old Blue out for a little spin. Just going to go drive around the moonlight. See what's happening out there. What's shaking? What's in the brushes? What lurks in the shadows? And I just feel like somebody needs to share something or just needs a place. Just says, you know what? It was a rough weekend. It wasn't a solid weekend. It was supposed to be good. You know, it's the weekend. We're supposed to party and have fun. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. I think everybody here is a regular. I don't think I have to put this out there. But in case someone is watching this back later. I don't normally go live at this time. Now there's Joe and Ben. You can catch them on Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern time zone. I still think that's a Mandela thing. Dude, I'm telling you, I used to say Eastern Central time all the time. But either way, you can catch me live every Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Want to be guesting the BigWilly van? Email me at BigWillyUFOGaragePodcast.com. Just know what happens in the van stays in the van. Your secrets are safe with me, as well as the multitude of people watching on the internet. But besides that, you're totally safe. No worries whatsoever. Adam Ambrose, just thought I would hop on. Hey, well, look at that. Oh, 509, you have a laptop now. Very nice. So, I'm curious, and maybe I'll put this to those out here in the chat. How does the moon? Do you guys believe much in that? Do you read much into celestial alignments? Wait, I said that wrong. No, it's not. That wasn't the right word. But we're going to roll with it like it was. Matter of fact, I'll rock it again. Celestial. Again, not the word. But the astrological alignments, placements of planets, and things of that nature. Certainly the full moon. Do you guys read much into that? Do you think it has an effect on our energy? Do you think that times and seasons of the year open up openings, portals? Do you believe there's a thinning of the veil this time of the year? If so, I'd be curious to know. Have you had more experiences around this time? The lore behind it's pretty amazing. I've only been recently reading into it a little more for as the Celtic background and what Halloween was for them and the different myths and legends behind it. It's pretty interesting. One of the things I came across that I had not ever really seen before was that fairies used to come down on the moonbeams and they would dance on the moonbeams. And the children dancing up or dressing up in the trick-or-treating outfits were not to trick their fellow neighbors or whatever it may be to extort sweet treats from them. No. It was to hide from the fairies that might be out lurking. So I don't know. I just thought it's in the cold. What do you tell when it's a cold winter? What is the temperature there tonight, Joe? What is your temperature that you're calling a winter? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I got my window open right next to my pillow upstairs. It's cooling my pillow down for me. Nothing will make you sleep better than a nice cool pillow, right? Let me see real quick. What's our temperature here? We got Yeah, it's not that bad. It says it'll get a low to 42 tonight, but it's 52 degrees right now. That's not bad at all. That's great weather. That's open the window, get a fan in there kind of weather. Oh man, I'm falling behind in the comments here. I apologize, guys. Hang on. Well, there was that time the craft landed and the aliens got out. Adam, do tell. I don't know, but every time it rains, my cat hides in the bathroom. Right in the back of Corgis. What did I miss? Linda Moulton Howie read my letter about my Nordic experience in her live stream last Wednesday. Very interesting. Adam, I don't know if you have a camera. You don't even need a camera, but if you'd like, you can, I'll share the link again. You could just come on via audio as long as you have a headset. It really helps out. But even if you didn't have that, you could try if you're open to it. You don't have to. Just us here tonight. There's a couple people. I think half of them are Joe and Ben, myself. So there's no pressure. But I just feel like it's like 58 fools. See, we're like the same thing, Joe. Isn't that weird? You're in Texas, bro. I'm all the way in Michigan. And granted, like in a parallel, like I get that way. We're not that far apart, but this is some space this way. And, fairies rode the backs of corgis into battle. No, I don't know if that's verifiable or not. But I feel like that's so BA that I'm going to say that it is. That is the way it is now. And that is why corgis are so beloved to this very day. It's in our epigenetics. It's built into our DNA. We know that they once raged the wars against the elf folks. Or some ghouls or something. True story, he says. No, it might be. I can't speak to it. I don't know. I won't do camera, but I can do audio. I have my headset. Yeah, perfect, Adam. So what I'll do, so I think I shared it once. I think it's just above you. If you just click on that, it'll bring you backstage. And then I can kind of test. It'll ask you a couple questions, like what camera you want to use, or, I'm not going to use camera, so you can cut that out, and then what audio you want to use. So if you have a mic or if you're just calling in a phone, we'll try that out. Gordon BigWilly. Big Willie, I'm right across the border from Michigan. Are you in Ohio? Or are you in Canada? Where they got Canadian bacon, and don't get Dave Scott started on Canadian bacon. Don't even start. Yeah, so Adam, you might have asked that while I was typing it up or saying it. So you just follow this link. I'm going to send it right here. When you click on that, it'll probably take you out of the page. Once it takes you out, it will bring you into a separate room, and it will ask you a couple questions. You just follow the instructions, and then it'll bring you backstage. And then once there, I take over for you. So, but so Gordon 85, where are you located then? Are we? You said you're just across the border. So there's a couple borders. Are we talking like Illinois? Are we talking Wisconsin? Huh? With the lake dividing us? What kind of borders are we speaking about? Perhaps where is it that we can, in Detroit, where is it? It's a part of Canada. I should know this. And if you go, nice. The Twin Cities. Yeah, okay. Very nice. I didn't know you were that close. You're pretty close. So you're probably pretty familiar with some of the Michigan Lake, like the Lake Michigan lores. So many ships. There have been more ships and people lost in Lake Michigan, or the Great Lakes surrounding Michigan, that I'm aware of than anywhere else in the world. And I don't think that's a false statement. I'm pretty dead positive that that's accurate, which is mind-boggling because you would think all the vast oceans, all the different places you could venture, why the Great Lakes? Granted, I mean, it's a busy port, but I mean, to be the most ever? Google it. Oh, this is what Joe's saying. So Google it. Let me pop it up here for those that might be watching. Oh, God, why can't I read? They wrote against, the trolls and the gnomes and all their other enemies. That's why their backs look like a perfect shape for tiny saddles. Joe in here dropping some knowledge. I knew they were fighting stuff. So the trolls and the gnomes. Is this why the Queen of England? They're still the dog of choice, right? Like the royal, I don't know what you call it, like the defense over there, isn't it? I believe it's the corgi, isn't it? Lots of Lake Superior lore. The Ogopoga. Okay, so that is one I'm unfamiliar with, and I love cryptid stuff, right? It's US, what's up? We're just in here chilling. I guess I'm like doing a little pregame for Lynn here. I was saying, man, the full moon, it's got me feeling something. And we're going to see what happens here tonight. But, yeah, so Ogopoga, I have never done a deep dive on this one. I believe this is the one that most believe is like all of them, a falsehood or whatever, that it's just these giant eel-like creatures that we're seeing that are causing that ripple effect. And I seen another guy who broke it down and said, well, it's what it is it's the currents that believe in here, and then these currents mix here, and then in the water. And who knows? Maybe it is. I'm not trying to make fun of them. They're a lot smarter than I am. I'd call up. Yeah, feel free. The link's in the chat there. I'm not sure. We're going to see what happens. Adam might be hopping on here to share a story. Said Linda Mountain Hall. Or wait, what got the name all wrong? Jeez, I murdered it. Shared his story last Wednesday, I believe. Let me see. Linda Moulton Howe, right here, read my letter about the Nordic experience in her live stream last Wednesday. I'm not going to lie. I really hope Adam can get through, because Nordics are tight and nice. Yeah. Well, let's see. Speaking of that, by the way, Gizmo, which is Amanda and Joe's corgis. Yeah, 3 of them, right? Or wait, am I getting this wrong? Who has the corgi? Yeah, you do. Because Ben has Gizmo, right? Poor puggy face there. Gizmo has her wings, has a lighter shade of fur on each shoulder blade. Ooh, maybe the fairies are still riding the corgis and we just can't see them. Why? Welcome to the chat. All right, so let me try this out. Adam, I got Adam backstage. So first of all, let's thank Adam very much for hopping on here. If it works, hopefully it all works out. Because, this is awesome. I'm so excited. There's 9 people out here checking us out right now with no warning. We're like, dude, let's just do this. Adam, are you able to hear me okay? Are you there, Adam? So what I'm going to do, Adam, is I'm going to take you backstage for just a second. I'm going to give you a second there. It's not, I could definitely hear something, but I don't know if it was... We're going to give him a second, guys. We're going to see what happens here. T-West, I apologize. You totally believe what? Did I miss something? The Ogopoga is an ancient rock drawing. Oh, really? Very nice. Adam, if you're still there backstage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bring you back in one more time. And just see if I'm able to get you now, okay? Or if we're still, they could be they're probably being abducted right now. The Nordics are probably taking them right now. They probably heard. Are you still there, Adam? So, I can definitely hear your phone's audio's picking up, but I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me okay? All right, Adam, what I'm going to do is if you can hear me, I'm going to take you out, use the same link, and try and come back in again, okay? We'll try that. So I'm going to actually remove you from the backstage and then just go out and use the same link again, okay? Lynn, what are you doing in here? I was just telling him, man, the energy tonight. I feel bad. It says I have to kick the guest. That's terrible. That's not terrible. Why can't they make it better? Why can't it be like, you gracefully help the guest leave? Why is it got to be I opened the door, kicked him out, and said, don't let it hit you on the way out. No, Lynn, you're a rock star. I am but a Padawan and a grasshopper to Joe and Ben and many others. I'm trying to learn so much. There's so much that you guys have. But the corgi stuff, I'm loving this. This is a real thing. That fool is popping off fireworks in his phone. Yeah, it kind of sounded like it, right? It really did. Yeah, so the corgis with the fairies. Now, Lynn, you have a lot of knowledge, actually, on the fairies. And you have a lot of opinions about the fairies. Now, I probably should rephrase that a little bit. You have a lot of opinions about the fae more than the fairies. Or is it fairies in general that you feel are not as trusting? They're always made out to be these cute things in the cartoons and the lore and the history that we hear. The Hollywood corporate version that we hear, I should say, Disney kind of deal. But the actual lore of what a fairy is, you have a different opinion about, correct? But I'm really intrigued about this corgi stuff. Man, them corgis got them short legs, and that's why the corgis were so fearless too. Maybe that's why the big dogs always back down from them, because we can't see that fairy, but that fairy's sitting right there, and it's like, hey, you make a move, I'm a boy here, I will end you. And that big dog just knows I gotta back down. Let's see. Adam said I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. Maybe I put the wrong mic setting. Yeah, let's try it again. Someone's backstage. It says they will need to connect their mic and cam before you can add them. So whoever's backstage, go ahead and try and connect your at least your audio. It says they're Willie, so I'm really curious to see who it is. Yeah, Adam, try the same link again. And let's see. I do see someone on camera. Perfect. So I'm going to bring in. I don't actually know who this is. So I'm right there with a finger, just in case, right? You never know what we're going to get. I'm just kidding. The fairies are way too high maintenance. Agreed, Len. They're a bit needy. They're kind of sus. I'm just saying. Let's see. But here we go. Willie, I'm going to bring in someone named Willie here. Willie, how's it going tonight? Thank you for hopping on the garage here and hopping on the van with old Blue with me tonight. How are we doing? I can't tell if this is the greatest troll of all time or if you're actually interested in having a conversation. So, I'll ask you one more time, and then I might take you out. This has been a great hitchhiker. Well, we appreciate
I apologize, man. I was just trying to watch some goddamn football, getting a little bit high. Seeing you were on there. Wanted to throw some farts out there. But I love the show, and I appreciate it. But I got a problem with you, man.
Oh, man, what's that?
I'm the goddamn Big Willie. Okay?
Listen, the cosmos is vast. There can be many Big Willies in the great cosmos. Take a drink every time Willie says sus. Oh, I like that game.
Hey, man, I seriously am enthralled by this football game, so I just want to leave you one last comment.
Heck yeah.
If you will.
There it is. And on that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank Willie for coming in and giving his expert opinions. But we appreciate it, guys. We really appreciate the love. The phantom farter. The best part is I totally seen their picture backstage, and I was like, it's kind of sus. But I went for it. I said, listen, honestly, I feel like Joe and Ben, come on. Come on. Thank you for the farts, Willie. T-Waz is very proud of these farts. I mean, we do have a whole department dedicated to this. I don't know if you guys know about TTFA, to the Farts Academy. Whoa, it moved on me. As Gordon 85 is talking about here. We do have that. Yes, we do. So let's see. We're going to try one more time. We have Adam backstage once again. We're going to try to bring him in. It was hilarious, Joe. Oh, it was. That's hilarious. As soon as I opened the video. So it was Willie. Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like, for half a second, I was like, wait a second. But let's try this one more time with Adam. Hopefully we can get them, because I'd love to hear this story about the Nordics. Jacob, what's happening? Long time no see. What's happened, brother? Just out here banging, swinging. Hopefully you're still thrashing that guitar, brother. All right, Adam, I'm gonna try to bring you in. Here we go. Can you hear me okay? Are you there, Adam? Man, I'll tell you what. I think it's just your mic. That's unfortunate. I tell you what, Adam, if you have earpieces, and I'm going to mute you for just a second, I have an idea. If you are using earbuds, take your earbuds out and try just using your phone. If you are on your phone, let's try that, and we'll see if we can get audio through that way. Yep, so I can see your message backstage. So, yep, so try that. So I'm going to have you, if you do have earbuds, we're going to try that. I'm going to try and unmute you and see if that made a difference, okay? Can you hear me okay now? Oh, man, this sucks. I really want to hear the Nordic story. I love anything Nordic. And agreed. Zero cool, about to pound some tacos. So I'm going to try and take you out, Adam. I would have loved to have you on here. I got my email in here. I'll send it over to you before you get out of here. I'll send it in private message. I'm just going to remove you and keep you backstage for a second. And I'll send it in private message because I'd love to try and get you set up sometime to come on, okay? All right, I'm going to move them backstage for just a hot second. While I get this set up, we have another guest backstage. So just bear with me for just 1 second, and I will get you squared away. By the way, what is everyone knocking back tonight? It's Sunday night. We all should probably be in bed. The dreaded Monday is upon us. Somehow time in the weekend just moves along a little bit faster than it does the rest of the week, and there's just never enough time. How does that happen? Does that prove that time really is just a concept or an idea that we create in our mind? Doesn't actually exist? And that's why it moves so fluidly, depending on how we view it. Is it like the particle, the slit up experiment, where it alters and changes upon observation? These are things I wonder about. Oh, I think I lost 509. Oh, Adam. Oh, man, I might have lost Adam, too. If not, it's back there. There we go. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me catch up here real quick. Pounding tacos. All right, let's see what else we got. What else did I miss? Gotta get back here. The Nordics. I think there's a connection there between Odin and Thor and Rocco some taco. Now, are you just saying hackers have been messing with audio lately? You know, it's funny you mention that because I was down for 40-something minutes the other day going live. You can, but feel free to hop on if you want, by the way, Jacob. I was down for about 40 minutes trying to get going the other day. And then even Dave, tonight, we were talking to him for a little bit. He was having issues. So I don't know if anyone else has been having this. Isn't it? Okay. Again, here we go back to the planetary alignment stuff. How much do we read into this whole Mercury in retrograde or whatever? And the whole, it breaks up communication and it has issues. Are we reading too much in that stuff, or is that real? What do you guys think in the chat while I bring in our guest here in the back? Can the planets affect our computers and our electronics? Are we indeed in retrograde? 509, welcome to the chat, brother. What is shaking?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hey, how's it going?
Afternoon? Where are you at?
Well, I mean, good evening, afternoon. Hey, it's the same thing.
Heck yeah. We were just talking about that. Time's irrelevant, right? Doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah, time is an illusion. Time is definitely an illusion. It's been known that on different parts of the world that time moves differently. And I mean, even if we look at it on different planets, time moves differently. So What is time? What is it really? It's just a collection of energy.
Yeah. And don't they say that, right? They say, well, at least what we're taught about the little bit we know about gravity. Because even they're like, well, it's a construct and we don't completely understand it. But anyways, that's a different topic. But what they do tell us is that gravity or mass affects time. It bends time or warps it.
Right. And then if we look back at some of these ancient stories about how the Earth had multiple cycles and that we're on the fourth cycle, they said maybe in the second and third cycle, the Earth had about like 300 days in the third cycle, and in the second cycle per year they had about like 250 days. So I guess every time that we go through these so-called cycles, whatever this astrology means, astronomy means, whatever, whenever we go through these cycles, I guess time gets different for us. We start having it just doesn't make sense that those days things. Kind of interesting, eh? Can you guys hear me pretty good?
Yeah, you sound great, by the way. I was going to say, I can definitely hear you. Is this on the new laptop or are you just on your phone right now? But it sounds great.
Yeah, I have a laptop. I need to get that mic set up, but I didn't have the mic. I didn't have a chance to get the mic set up on the laptop yet. I have a stationary mic.
Very nice. Yeah, I think it sounds great. It's so funny, too. What do you read into this lately? I've been really thinking about this, right? The whole idea of, in your opinion, the universe may be expressing itself or manifesting itself, whatever terms you want to use. Do you think it puts you in any situation or possibility, an opportunity without you? Some people always say, well, I'm not ready. But do you think if the opportunity even appears, is there a chance that we should always be taking those opportunities? when we choose not to, are we hurting our growth? Are we taking a step back and telling the universe, no, we're not ready at this time? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, since his life is like multicolored and it's not just black and white, everybody has opportunities at different times and levels. You know, like some people may be ready to jog 5 miles, or some people may be ready to walk 1 mile. And whether or not you're ready, you know, you can still only go to a certain limit. You know, you can still only walk that first mile at, like, if that's all you can do. So I mean, everybody's going through their experiences, but there a lot of people, you know, they're definitely getting, you know, getting all this illusion from the Hollywood mainstream to not believe in these choices and not believe in these opportunities. So when we see these opportunities, we doubt them, but they're truly inside of us, and it just takes, you know, maybe a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of motivation to take the opportunity and to get the experience. You know, I mean, definitely Hollywood has definitely taken a lot of faith out of us. If you notice, you know, people aren't even like, yeah, I don't want to be great anymore. I just want to be a normal worker. I don't want to have to deal with all that extra stuff. I don't want to be an athlete. No, I just want to be normal. So, you know, you get what I mean? You get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's so funny you bring that up though, with the conditioning and stuff through Hollywood and whatever it might be. It's so funny that it promotes the idea. It does promote certain things for sure, but it seems the things that it promotes are going to end up at some point leaving you in some sort of a negative state. It puts so much pressure on you to have to be socially acceptable, even though it pushes the outliners of like, oh, we're going to be this or we're going to be that, whatever it might be, communities and stuff that you're involved in. But it really doesn't ever focus on other things like the idea. There's a couple shows that are getting into this, but getting into, you know, shrooms and things of that nature, reconnecting with nature as a whole thing, recognizing that, you know, everything around us has a consciousness, right? And it communicates. That alone, why is that not a show? And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's shows out there like that. But
right. I think it's more of the cultural aspect of America. See, when we were born, America, 1776, we were born on the grounds of the outsiders, everybody who was kicked out of Europe, everybody who was leaving the other countries. You know, everybody would come to America for what you know, ever since 1776, everybody would come into America for what? The American dream. Well, you know, if we look at it more closely, we've seen that the people in America who came here first were definitely part of a different system. And so they have led their ideologies and beliefs, and we're just taken upon the, you know, ideologies of our political ancestors, not our actual spiritual or physical ancestors. Like, yes, nature should be talked about, but because of our political ancestry in our land, that's been wiped away. Now, if you go to other parts of the world, you know, documentaries will definitely show spirituality and the stuff that we talk about, consciousness. Like Europe, you know, Europe's pretty big, and nowadays, like with this consciousness movement. So, I mean, I guess it's just the atmosphere in which we live in. It's, you know, it's definitely a yin and a yang. There's a freedom to it. We have a freedom of religion, but hey, with that freedom of religion, meaning anybody can come and do their religion, the good and the bad. And, you know, we've just had to take that head on, you know, right in front of our faces with all this Hollywood. We see it. We see the light and the dark.
You know, it's funny about this too. I keep coming back to this. Well, it is what it is. I don't think this is something that Joe and Ben haven't talked about here. I always want to be careful when I'm on their show. But every 100 years you have these resets, as it were. And it's pretty traceable throughout history, even in the more twisted history that we're taught. And I've really been looking into this idea of how the Rockefellers and different ones took over the education system in the turn of the century, there, the 19th century, beginning of the 19th century, and they rebranded and redid the entire educational system. They founded essentially what public schools are and the public school board. Now, I'm not saying that's all bad. I'm not knocking education, but we completely lost what our roots were, what you're talking about, those ancient ancestral roots that are in us. And one could even say, if you believe in an idea of perhaps reincarnation or your energy or your soul, whatever you want to call it, coming back and having multiple life cycles. Now you're just being trained to be this industrial clog. At the time it was just industrial boom, to just fit into being someone who goes and works at a factory. It's still struggle with this, being in the trades and stuff that I've been through the years. I know I was kind of a weird guy for everybody else to have to work with, because I would get so bored just doing the work thing. And I'd have to bring up the stuff like, whatever it is, a bug going by, and I'd be like, we start talking about its consciousness or just these things. But to me, they all matter. And I think if we just approach life recognizing everything, a stone, wood, trees, how when everything dies, it cries. They've done research on this. It literally screams as it's dying. The smell the grass gives off is a pheromone. I mean, I might be getting this a little bit wrong, but Joe, you would know this stuff. It's a pheromone that releases to the grass to indicate that it's dying. It's like a warning that it gives off. This stuff is like fascinating to me. We just seem to kind of brief over it. Just in case you didn't mean to have your mic muted, by the way, 509, it is muted on you over there. By the way,
it was muted. I was letting you speak. Yeah,
perfect. I just wanted to make sure, because I was kind of starting to run out, and I was like, maybe he's just doing it to be
fine. It is pretty fascinating, man. It's pretty fascinating. How deep that we can get with this nature, and how deep it gets with us. Meaning that there's these senses that trees pick up on us, like it reads our vibes and it sends it to other trees through its nerve networks or whatever it's called. And yeah, man, I believe there's these places in the world where things like this are popular. And, I believe it's getting more popular. It's only been in due time with the help of this internet that, America has came to the love and the light that the rest of the world is. And man, it's been a blessing. I don't know how much it's changed your life, but all of this consciousness stuff, has really, really helped me pull away from that darkness vibe of the world, where you can now feel like there's a dark vibe when you go to certain clubs and you're like, nah, I'm good. But then when you go to a certain bar, you're like, wow, this is a really light vibe, And I think people like me and you and the people like our viewers and everybody else in this community, we're the ones who are like the magic workers, or the ones who were sent here with the eye to see all this. And, it's pretty much a blessing. It's definitely a blessing who we are, and having this conversation around the world with people that we barely met, but who have the highest respect for us and who have the highest truth in themselves, that we can tell. We're like, wow, this guy's super conscious, man. I would definitely ride with this guy into heaven. It's a blessing, man. We shouldn't take all of this pretty dirty, the world's pretty dirty, but there's a lot of good in it too.
Mm-hmm. What about this idea too, that every thought you have, people take the manifestation thing, and you can, again, I always tell people my own beliefs are mine. No way at all pushing them on anybody, and I don't disrespect your beliefs, but some people will equate that witchcraft, or people doing a ritual or spell casting is this deeply evil thing, but they'll pray to God, and that's fine. And I'm not knocking either one.
I actually say prayer is magic and prayer is spell. That's where I differ from Christians. I actually believe prayer is white magic.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's something, guys, I 100% ignorant as far as the difference between white magic and dark magic or any of that. Because I was just raised in this very traditional sense of no, it's just, there's God and there's the devil, this is it, and this is the existence of everything and where it exists. But it 100%, that's the funny thing, is that certain Christians were all magic doesn't exist, but they you read the Bible as it were. If you're just taking the Bible as it's taught and written, it's filled with magic.
Well, I believe that's more of the new Christians who were taught by these councils who were controlling the scripts. I think I had mentioned one time, it was backstage with John Hudson, how the Council of Nicaea had, controlled the scripts for such a long time, and it changed the scripts, and the Christians didn't have a chance to really read the truth, and the Catholics didn't have a chance to really read the truth. So look, I'm not Catholic or Christian, but I feel for them. They were lied to from the start, and I can't do anything but give them love and give them hope and give them the truth. um, man, yeah, it's a pretty tough subject, but we got to have love for everybody around because everybody is being lied to. Everyone.
Adam has an interesting comment here. They said, I've experienced the consciousness of the trees in the encounter. They expand, or they can expand your awareness. See, we gotta, even if it's not with me, Amber, Adam, I'm so sorry. What was that name? Get with Joe and Ben. I don't know if they're still in here or not, but 100%. I know they would love, and obviously if you've been in the chat and stuff before, they're all about having people on, if you're comfortable. No pressure or anything, but I would love to hear your story. I'm sure there's others that wanted to hear your story tonight, and yeah, it's just going back to okay. So here
Okay,
I'm fell behind in the chat. Go ahead.
Hey, so yeah, I didn't really have a chance to finish some of my experiences. So me and Chad Smith were talking, and I had sent him a video about above my eyebrows. There's these two indents, circular indents, and those appeared after an experience as a kid when I seen these beings in my room around 8 to 10 years old. So I sent Chad Smith the video, and he can clarify it, man. I have these two indents above my eyes. I asked my parents, I was like, hey, did you guys see these indents when I was born? Were these birthmarks? And they looked at me, they're like, what? Wait, what are those? And I was like, oh, exactly what I thought. All right. So just like recently with all of this stuff that I've been talking with Dave, Dave Smith and you guys, and man, like it's really made me want to talk about this because I've never really been able to talk about any of this. Like, I don't know why there were indents above my eyes. I don't know why I seen beings above me in my bed, but that was something I didn't get to talk about like last time, and I apologize. Last time I was in a rush.
Yeah, that's okay. I know we don't have a ton of time tonight. I was actually just asking Lynn. I'm like, Lynn, who's your guest tonight? Because I tried to check and it isn't showing yet. So we'll see if she tells us. But yeah, we've got at least 20 minutes or so here before Lynn goes on. So feel free, whatever you'd want. So you're saying you did have an experience around the age of 8?
Yeah. So like I was seeing things in the sky for most of my life, but around 8 through 10, I had these weird dream experiences where I felt like they were just above me in my bed. And one night I was going through a tough time as a kid, trying to feel really hating the world. You know how you get as a kid, you start hating the world and start yelling and I pray to everything. And yeah, it was like this rainy night, and I was just in a trouble in my mind, and I was like, if there's something out there, please come. And it was weird. It felt like a movie, how in those movies it starts getting misty and then the person starts getting into a dream world. It literally felt like that, where it was probably somewhere in the middle through the night, like around 1-ish, maybe 2-ish, and it started feeling misty. My eyes woke up, but my body was completely numb. I knew it. I was like, I can't move. I started waking up. I was like, all right, this is interesting. Is this my consciousness? Is this my spirit? Is this my eyes open? What is this? And like on to the right side, I seen these translucent, darker beings that were nearly to the height of my ceiling. So what, like 7 to 8 feet? And like I started getting this energetic pattern. Once I started noticing them, I started feeling like vibrations, and I heard, and I like this must have been telepathic messaging that I picked up on. I heard they're like, hey, what should we do with them? Because they just started looking at each other once they noticed that I was noticing them. Right then and there, it was like, a couple seconds later, like they're like, hey, what should we do with them? And they looked at each other, and instantly I went back to sleep. And I started questioning. I was like, what just happened? Like I like, okay, so I was like pretty loud as a kid. I was really loud as a kid. Like I would always be out energetic. I was playing football. I was always with my cousins. And then after these experiences started happening, I started getting really quiet. Like I started like getting head into books and started to like really just dive deep into the world and like being like, what am I experiencing and what is happening? And So it every like maybe 5 or couple years, like I'll have these astral experiences where it seems like I'm interacting with another being or other beings in like a program. I don't know why, but it feels like I'm being in a program. I don't know what it is, but they have a system set up for me, and I can definitely tell where they're keeping me protected in certain ways, and they're definitely helping me by giving me certain messages like man, like I've had, so this is weird where I've talked to a lot of people about like their dreams and deja vu and stuff, and
Hmm.
I asked a lot of people about deja vu, and they're like, I kind of have it, don't really have it. But for me, if someone asked me, like literally, dude, I've had deja vu like more than 100 times, and it's just so
Wow.
weird. It's just so weird where like it'll just be like a movie in my dream, and then later on it'll happen. I'm like, "Ooh, this is like a director from another realm is like controlling things or pushing me in certain directions. It's just so strange. And I guess more recently it's been like these last 10 years where I started meditating and really started finding the answers that
Hmm.
these spiritual guides have been able to show themselves a little bit more, I guess. And I think that's what I had mentioned on the first time that we had talked about, where I started interacting with the spirit guides more recently.
Right. I'm the reason and I hope you don't think I'm ignoring you because I'm loving this. And first of all, I have a question here from Justin, A.D. Menard. By the way, welcome to the chat. He asks, were you sick the day this happened? And the reason I'm also on my phone is there's a picture I want to show you to see if it's familiar. But that is a great question I'd love to ask. Were you sick the day before or even after? I'd be curious to know.
No, definitely not. I'm actually like very, very good with my immune system. Like that's something really rare too, where like I'll rarely get sick. Like
Mm.
I'm always moving, always eating healthy, always thinking light, and like I'm very conscious of my body too. So like if I notice something's wrong in the morning, like I'll attack it instantly with nutrition, and by the end of the day, I'll make sure that those feelings are gone. So like I rarely get sick.
Do you think a lot of that comes from your mind? Do you focus on things positively too? Meaning that if you even if you recognize, okay, I'm sick, but I'm getting better. That idea that your thoughts manifest your reality. Is that something
Your
you
mind
also
over
subscribe
matter,
to?
yeah. See, yeah, kind of that's kind of a thing, and it's like it's super hard to say that that's exactly the only thing that'll work. Like a lot of it has to do with your vibrational patterns inside of yourself, your emotional patterns, telling yourself you're happy, and then putting yourself in a clean and happy environment too. So there's a lot of it that comes to it, but yeah, mind over matter definitely helps. It's part of it.
Interesting. So Adam has a something I want to add here. They're saying if you dream something and then it happens, those are uh oh, what just happened? Oh, this is I know this word.
Prescience.
Thank you. Dreams. I've
I'd
had
never even
those.
said that word before.
Dude, maybe I feel like that's maybe
I'm just really good at words.
might be.
I was in the spelling bee as a kid.
That could be it, man. They're associated with being taken by the visitor. So that's what I was going to ask you. I guess I was going to lead into is that do you think that well, let's ask it this way. Do you still have these ongoing and do they feel like they're from this time currently or does it feel like it was another lifetime? Does it feel like you're
Well,
having
that's an interesting
flashbacks?
question because for the most of my life, it felt like it was just me here in this world having those experiences, like that were part of this world. But more recently, in the last 10 years, when I really started getting all the information from everywhere, Graham Hancock, you guys, Joe Rogan, doesn't even matter, just all across the board,
Heck yeah,
everywhere.
we just got chalked up with Joe Rogan, bro. I'm not gonna let that slide. Sorry, we just got
Yo,
mentioned
this
right
is
there.
classic. So, so once I started getting all this information, these experiences started clearing up. Like these, everything started clearing up in the astral world. And more recently, yeah, I've had this strange dream where I was pulled into a neon world of my own town. It was my town, but it was all neon, and it was the future. And literally, dude, I was pulled in by this guy. He was he pulled me in by this vehicle. He brought me out into my town through a portal. I don't know how. He got me off, and he's like, "Hey, man, this is your city." I'm like, "No, it's not." He's like, "Yeah, dude, just go around. This is your city." And I eventually had just walked around. I got some food, and it was like literally the best food I ever got. It was just like strange. I was like, "Dude, what the? Like, this is literally like the tastiest thing ever. I want some more." They're like, "Yeah, I'm sure you'd want some more. This stuff's real good." I'm like, "All right, this is weird." So I just left. I was like, "I don't want to deal with that," because like it started clicking me. I was like, "Wait, isn't this a trap sometimes where you start like eating and drinking things, and that's like it might be an evil thing?" So I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna walk away."
Yeah.
So I told myself I wanted to go back home, and like the dude who picked me back up, and he took me back to the portal, and it was still neon. And right before I left, he's like, "Here, these are for you," and he handed me 2 folders, and that was the trippiest thing ever because I felt the folders handed to me. I seen them, and these were more real than anything. It felt like these were some energy patterns that he was handing me over. He's like, "Here, these are yours. These are your energies." And I was like, "What?" And I'm trying to figure out what that means. I kind of have a clue that maybe I have contracts, but I have no idea.
You know, you bring up a great point here. And this is something I don't know quite to the extent that you've experienced this, but Joe had a dream like state one time he talked about where he was drinking this stuff. He was drinking this he didn't even know what it was. It was like a juice of some sort. And he was like at a club almost. And he was like, dude, he was having the greatest time of his life. He's like, it tasted so good. I was so chill. And some being or something at some point told him, okay, now it's time to go home. And he was like, no, I don't want to. And they're like, no, you have to. And then that was that. Now you have a much deeper yeah, Lynn, no problem with running. If you wouldn't mind, I'm just going to give a shout out on who your guest is tonight. I keep checking, but it still hasn't updated. So if you want to put it in the chat, let them know, and I'll update it at the end, too. But we'll see you there tonight for sure. Good luck with your guest, whoever they might be, the mystery guest for Lynn tonight. But the idea that you feel that you could have had these contracts, which we often hear hit on, do you at any point in your time remember opening said contracts or having anything leading to that after as it ties back to that memory?
Well, see, that was the end of the memory, and like, I don't know if this is for you, but you know, when you have a lucid dream and you remember your dream, it almost seems like the very last 5 seconds and the very first 5 seconds are the hardest to remember because it's like you're transitioning into it. So I literally opened them right when I was leaving, and like I just kind of remember blurring out.
Yeah, I hear you too.
As far as being connected to another world, there was just another time where I was in a dream, and it was definitely a lucid dream, but I was above my own city, and I was just flying around. I was literally just like floating, flying, and like being taken from this spot to this spot. And I was like, this is a trip. Am I in a UFO? And then once I started having those higher thoughts, like, am I here? Am I in a UFO? Like, I shut down. Like, it shut me down, and I went back to sleep.
Do you think, and I'm just curious to hear your thoughts on this, have you ever, you mentioned you've been meditating lately, have some of these memories come back that way? Have they gave more clarification, or has it just been solely an introspective search of oneself when you meditate?
Definitely, as I seek back into the memories, they definitely become clearer. I do have a very good, like, I don't know if it's like a picture memory, whatever it's called. But
yeah,
I
photographic memory.
I don't know if it's that one or there's this other psychic sense that I had seen just recently where you can think about something, and you can go to an event and you can figure out the events and all the information about it, or you can think about someone and you can pull information without even having to know about it. But like somewhere along the line, I'm actually being able to like go back into the experiences and pick up pieces and patterns that like I wasn't aware of before. And it's been it's been pretty fascinating. Like, I actually think that like I'm upgrading my psychic abilities more and more as I'm getting into these topics and figuring out, what is what, and who we are and how to better ourselves. So I definitely am getting more clairvoyance on all of this as I go on.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody has the answer. I always say, man, like the whole idea that we're these, Dave Scott, I know you hate it, but fractal pieces of consciousness just here experiencing it, and I don't think anybody has it figured out, but I'm going to enjoy the ride on the way. That's for sure. But I do think that there's something to this idea of us getting together like this and sharing these ideas, sharing these conversations. Because just alone, the stuff you've shared tonight, the stuff that Adam shared tonight here, as well as Justin from Down Under. I won't even try to do an Australian accent. I won't say the cliche lines, at least. And other ones, I think there is a waking up process. So even if it's not something that directly, I think, is impacting you, I think we all have a role here to play. I think there's a lot to this. And I think we have a beautiful community. I don't know how you feel about the garage and the boys here, but it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, dude, I love it, man. I love this whole community. Like, we all have big balls for talking about this. Like, nobody understands and thinks about that on a daily. Like, people are scared to talk about this, dude. I'm a man, bro. I ain't scared. Come on, man. Like, I'm willing to go ahead and face the demons. Y'all not. Like, hey, dude, I love y'all. All of you guys are willing to face the demons with me and with the rest of this community, and that's a fact. Like, at the end of the day, when all of this goes down, when when the satellites go down, dude, we're gonna be the kings.
Yeah. Yeah. I've wondered about that. Okay. Let's talk about that I know we only have less than 10 minutes here, guys, but you know how we said that there's clearly two things that have happened. We know that past civilizations clearly had, even if we accept it for the very generic way that it's been taught to us, they had to have had a way of communicating, right? From the way they're oh my God, I thought the word would come from me. I keep wanting to say agriculture. That's not right. What is it called when you build something? This is a name for your career, and this is what you do. You draw. You're an architect. Thank you. You're an architect. I don't know what's going on there. My brain broke down for a second. The work that they put into their buildings, the architect of it, they seem to have had some sort of communication. What if the communication wasn't a craft? Like we've always just said, ancient aliens. What if we suspect, we believe, and then they roll into something. But the idea that what if people were communicating? We talk about astral travel a lot, or it's something that's been coming up a lot more. And do you yourself subscribe to the idea of being able to astral travel at all on the astral planes? Oh my gosh, we have a Chad Smith sighting.
Yeah,
but continue with that question. Sorry.
Yeah, man, astral traveling. That's what might be happening for me. Like, I know a lot of times during meditation, like during the day, I'll be able to astral project, and it's pretty fascinating, and like it's helped me find a lot of peace in life too. And I think that like a lot of this is natural to us, and it just takes like a healthy person or a conscious person or a powerful person, whether I don't know how or what decides the person to have these abilities unlocked, but I think it's within all of us. I definitely do. I mean, I even think like everybody should be having these dreams and, lucid dreams and psychic senses for sure. It's just, I'm not sure what in the world chooses who has it or not and why.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to there. I'm trying to help these people out too. At least, talking like this, it really helps out people. It really helps people come out and, helps people decide.
Well, we appreciate you sharing your story, first of all. I mean, I think everybody here in the chat, you've got a lot. There's a fiery chat going on, even with the 14 members we got in here, man. They're firing away in here. It's hard to keep up with a little bit. But I appreciate every one of you for coming in. And obviously, we still have just a couple more minutes here, 4 or 5 more minutes before we got to run. And I keep checking for poor Lynn. Usually they got it up there, but I haven't seen it. So if anybody knows who the guest is for tonight, maybe let me know, and I'll announce it for her. Oh, here it is. Kincaid's Cave, Ancient Egyptians in America, bro. How funny is it? We were just talking about the idea that. So anyways, her guest, Jared Murphy. Jared Murphy is the podcaster, researcher, and author of It's Not Aliens, Worse, It's Us. Oh man, the evidence from historical records, legends, and myths. That sounds like a good one.
I think
So,
I've heard of
H,
Jared
what's
Murphy
up?
from Leak Project. Yeah, Jared
Mm-hmm.
Murphy's pretty cool.
Be good times, good times. But dude, I absolutely love this. I mean, and this wasn't for anybody. Some people are asking that I didn't get a notification and stuff, guys. It wasn't planned at all. I just felt that I needed to hop on, and I don't know. I normally ignore sometimes those gut instincts, and I just felt like somebody needed to either chat tonight. Like I said, that might have even been myself. I don't know. I mean, share something, and I just felt that maybe somebody out there needed had a rough weekend, just needed a place to hang out for a couple minutes and have these talks. So that's kind of why that happened. You guys didn't miss anything. You didn't forget to check on it. It was literally, I just messaged Ben. I was like, hey, do you mind if I go live? And he's like, Stardo blew up, get her out there. And then people started hopping in here, and look at all you guys hanging out. Glad you did it. See, look at that. Trust your gut. Heck yeah. But so really quick, I got one last question for you, 509. And all of your travels and all of your experiences, and I know we have to do another time again where we get, because I know you had to rush the story here tonight. Did you ever encounter, besides the beings you were encountering, did you ever, in your experiences, notice, meet, or speak with another person that you identified that was from Earth, say not of this world you were experiencing?
Dude, that's a trip that you asked that specifically, bro. I like there's this experience in my backyard, man. It was around 5 to 6 o'clock, and I like to stay, meditatively in the mind where like I can, be enlightened and be on those just joyous vibes where it's lightheartedness, where you can go around someone, you're like, man, this guy's just pure happiness. So it's like around 5 or 6, and I was in my backyard, and dude, there was this like white apparition of like a human form like that started speaking to me, and it literally appeared in the day, which is the trippiest thing ever, because I've never had anything like appear during the day. And I felt like this was like light and actually needing to talk to me. Like this one like literally came out from the ground. It was pretty tall, and it looked like an old spirit. It was weird, dude. It was like I seen this spirit more in fullness than anything I've ever seen. It looked like they were from 2,000 to 3,000 years ago, based on their robes. They were wearing a robe, and I was that caught my eye, because man, like not too many people wear robes. Like, yeah, the only certain area and certain aspect of people wear these thick, heavy robes. And it started asking me, I was like, hey man, you're getting into a point in your life where you can go either two routes. And it started showing me both routes, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, why am I here? Why is this now? And I already knew what it was. Like, I already knew what's happening. Like, something is showing me like which ways I can go from here. And it had a long conversation with me. I know we're short on time, so I'm not going to go into the conversation.
We'll have to,
like,
for sure.
Specifically, like that was coming to my mind this last 5 minutes. Like I was like, man, I didn't even. How do I even talk about this? And you brought it up. It was like consciousness making you bring it up to me, because like it was literally like a human form. It was so crazy. It was unbelievable. I mean, as a kid right here in my house, I thought I had seen a ghost like at 5 years old from the corner of my eye, and then having this thing appear at me when I'm like 28 now, 27. I knew my house like is on this like higher energy pattern, and I had talked to, I think, Sherry Ariano, that I had got from Spaced Out Radio, and man, like, dude, without me even telling her, she asked me, she's like, hey dude, do you live on vortexes? I was like, holy shit. Yeah, how do you even know? What the fuck? Like in my dreams, my whole life, it's in my dreams. Like there's been this fucking voice, man. Like, hey, dude, you live on some very special property. It's like Portal, like. And I was always like, nah. Wait, what do you mean? Nah. Like I was always questioning. I was like, what do you mean? What the fuck? And then Sherry Adiana asked me that, and like, man, it's coming in all perspective now. It's coming all clear. And man, like, I don't know what's happening here, but some things want to protect me or talk to me, and I want to talk to y'all about it because I need to. It's probably my job and by my contract that I have to.
Heck yeah. Well, we're glad we can provide a platform for you to be able to get this out there. There's a lot of comments about the robes, but unfortunately, guys, we got to get going because of Lynn here. So what I'm going to do is 509, you and I can, obviously, we talk offline all the time. Anyway, so hit me up, and I'll try to find a time, even if it isn't on a Saturday. Maybe we do a Friday or something, or we'll figure something out to get you out here within the story, whether it's with, or even with Ben and Joe, or however it might work out. We'll definitely do it again, but I want to get you guys over to Lynn and SOR there. By the way, thank you so much, 509. Thank you to everyone who came and hung out here tonight.
Yeah, thank you all, man. I love this crowd. I love you guys, man. You guys are amazing. It's good to have this good high energy because there's a lot of people out there in these chat rooms too who just don't say one word. They'll just be watching it and not comment and not give their idea, not give their opinion, or they'll just be hating trolls. And you guys are amazing. We're good here. This is nice.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, as I always say, ending the show, to everyone, peace, love, and taco grease. That's always a good one. But I want,
peace, love, and light. God bless.
Party. But yeah, everyone, please stay curious and keep it weird.
Peace.